Welcome back, everyone. Chris here with White Widow Sports. Just like we said in the Super Bowl most and least impressive videos, no champion of any sport is super unimpressive at their core. No owner, player, or fan will care how they did it as long as they did, in fact, win the championship on one or multiple occasions. But hey, challenging that notion and putting it on YouTube got some pretty good views last time, so here we are again. How do we define the least impressive champion of any sport? In most cases, it will consist of a team that ultimately didn't wow many critics over the course of a season and then faced little or weaker than usual resistance in the playoffs or championship. Again, we are not taking anything away from this team because they were once the champions and can gloat about it for all time in everyone's face. But somebody had to be arguably the least and most impressive, and it makes for good content and fun internet arguments in my experience, depending on who you ask. Before we get started, if you haven't seen the least and most impressive Super Bowl champion videos, please consider doing so after this. It is currently 2025, and there have been 21 franchises to win an NBA title. Some won half or all of their titles in a different city under different names, and some have won a majority of them where they currently or have always resided. The league has also undergone expansion and mergers. When picking the least impressive champion, it would be all too easy, in my opinion, to pick the weakest from a season where there were only 8 or 9 total teams, like in 1947-48 or from 1955 to 1966. But to make this a little more inclusive, we will only count seasons where there were 12 plus teams. While the 1998-99 San Antonio Spurs hold the distinction of having the fewest wins as a champion, that stat is wildly misleading for obvious reasons. There was a lockout all the way until February 5th, 1999. While the team only had 37 wins, they also only had 13 losses, good for a 74% winning percentage, and then they went on to win their first NBA title. So obviously we can't go based on total wins or anything. However, in the 1977-78 season, a season where 22 teams existed, a team went 44-38, good for a winning percentage of just over 53%, and won the whole damn thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the Washington Bullets. Don't get me wrong, the team had some impressive moments such as overcoming a slow start, and by mid-January they sat at 24-15. They would then drop the next 5 straight before winning a pair, then losing another 4 straight. From there, the Bullets had a bit of a back and forth season for the most part. A pair of 4-game winning streaks in early March and late March helped propel them to the previously mentioned 44-38 record, earning them a 3 seed in the East. In the first round, the Bullets matched up against the 41-41 Atlanta Hawks, winning their first game at home 103-94, and their second in Atlanta 107-103 in overtime to win the best-of-3 series. The Eastern semifinals began with a Bullets loss in San Antonio against George the Iceman Gervin-led Spurs before winning 3 straight to propel them to an eventual 4-2 series win. In the Eastern Finals, Washington pulled off the most impressive feat in this video. See, we can still find the positive even in a negative segment. A good thing to try in everyday life as well. Anyways, the 55-27 76ers and Julius Erving were stunned in Game 1 as the Bullets won 122-117 in overtime. After the series was evened in Game 2, the Bullets went on to win Games 3, 4, and 6 by an average of 11 points to win the series and punch a ticket in the NBA Finals for the 3rd time in franchise history. What awaited them in the finals? Well, the 47-35 Seattle Supersonics. Now, Seattle reached this point as a 4 seed in the West by beating the LA Lakers in the first round before pulling off the massive upset of number 1 Portland in 6 games in the conference semifinals. Granted, MVP Bill Walton was injured and was out midway through Game 2. They then went on to beat Denver in 6 games as well to set the stage. Seattle took games 1, 3, and 5, while Washington took games 2, 4, and 6, setting the stage for a winner-take-all Game 7 in Seattle. In a tightly contested game, the Bullets pulled out the 105-99 win and took home the franchise's only title to this day. Hold your head high, Wizards fans. I'm a Hawks fan, and all we have is a 1958 title from St. Louis that I've never really counted for Atlanta. Another wild stat I found while researching this was that this would be the last time a road team won Game 7 in the NBA Finals for 38 years until Cleveland did so in 2016. Of course, all the love in the world goes out to this team and what they did accomplish, but due to the regular season inconsistency, the low win total, the lower quality of opponent in the finals, and perhaps Bill Walton's injury being the only reason this championship ever even happened, we felt it was fair to pick them as our least impressive NBA champion. Quick shout out to Finals MVP Wes Unseld, who was also the NBA MVP in 1969 and a 5-time All-Star, and to head coach Dick Motta, who at the time of this recording is still with us at the age of 93. Thank you all for watching. Please do like this video, share, and subscribe. And also, please feel free to comment anything I missed, anything you disagree with, or maybe even something you did agree with. This has been Chris with White Widow Sports, and I will see you in the next one.